Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishnan Nair. Here, basically, we are talking about one topic and one database, basically, that is Oracle. So, one of the person told that before Oracle, basically, I think we should discuss what actually the database is. Before database, basically, we should discuss what actually the data is. And before data, basically, we should know that how many types of data format, basically, the computer basically accepts. Here, basically, it's the Oracle company, basically, who takes which type of database. So one of the person told that which type of data basically the Oracle company accept it. Accept it means Oracle basically is company. So they have created how many types of database format basically which they can accept and they basically can spread across the world basically. Across the world means Oracle is one database. It basically can be used from the web base also. So it's spreading the data basically. So one of the person told that before Oracle we should discuss database and before database basically we should basically discuss about the data basically what actually the data is. So here basically it's Oracle. So Oracle basically is one company basically it's one organization also basically you can say it's one software company basically. They basically say that we have created many types of data basically database format basically data format also basically you can say. So currently we are not discussing Oracle basically, but the introduction is basically of Oracle only. But before this, what actually the data is? One of the person told her, what do you mean by data basically? Then one of the person told her, data means, for example, one person told that, yeah, basically I know this person, I know that person, I know this person, I know that person, I know from that person from that city, I know this person from that city. What is this actually? So he told that basically it's a contact information basically. So that is basically one data basically. One person told that that's basically of the one person basically. But when basically it comes to the company side basically, they told that basically company basically we know that basically company we know that company basically we know that company basically in USA basically we know. So that is what basically that is also data, but it's connecting to company basically. So it's related to company database. One person told that this is basically my temple, and they basically here basically lots of people basically comes to the pray basically. So here basically it can be temple, it can be church, it can be so in short basically we are taking as a god place basically. So one of the person told that it's a god place basically where basically the people comes to do the prayer basically for the of the god basically. So here basically one of the person told that here basically this is also one of the data basically. So temple is also one data. So temple basically who creates that basically the government. So government is also one database basically. They basically have also basically one group basically like Oracle company basically have one group. So government also basically have one group. So temple basically comes into private organization also sometimes basically comes to the trust also sometimes basically it comes to the government side also. Government also take over the temple. So that is also data basically. So whatever thing basically you can say which is created by human basically after the earth planet basically started his birth basically that all are basically data but it basically has formatted basically in certain level basically it has formatted in certain level it has formatted in certain level means the format basically for example one person told that this is what written basically. So he told that basically it's a Oracle database it's written. Why? Because it's a English level database basically. So this is basically one word file basically, which is telling that basically this is a Oracle database basically, which is written in the English format. So English basically is one language basically. That is basically inside the word file basically. So word file is also basically one data, but it's basically big level data basically. So here one person told that there are many types of formats basically of the data, which basically you can read. Sometimes basically people says that to for secure purpose basically we have created our data in a binary format. Binary format means or basically the other than format basically where normal human basically can't read. For that basically it's converter is required. So for that basically the converter basically converts the binary data or basically whatever format data basically they are having into the English format basically. So here what the things basically came into the picture, format of the data, Format means this is one data basically. This is basically English word basically, right? So this is one format basically you can say of the data. It's in English format basically. You basically can read the data basically. So it's the English format data basically. That also basically you can say. So here basically we are talking about the data basically, which computer basically has setted the data into many formats basically. So data can be anything basically. The water basically which you can see in the lake, that also basically is for data, because water also basically it's very deep basically. It's connecting to the planets. If we go basically in depth of the water basically, it is connecting to planets. So that is also basically data. So water is also basically one of the company basically is handling the water basically. That is also basically one data. That also you can say. Human body basically, that is one database basically. Why? Because human body basically contains blood cells basically. Blood cells basically generates the body parts. According to the body parts basically you do your task basically. So that is also basically, currently I am doing this Oracle task. That is also basically one data basically, which basically I am spreading through video basically. So video is also basically one data, but it basically is a in the format of display format. That basically you can see the video basically. So one of the person told that before database, before Oracle, before RDBMS, Oracle basically is a RDBMS basically. It's a relational database management system. What is this basically? That also basically we are going to see with you. Oracle basically is one RDBMS database. That is a relational database management system basically. So data basically are in many formats basically. That basically we almost basically had talk. So here one person told that data basically can be readable format and can't be readable format also. That is also basically possible, because one person told that to keep the secure of the data basically. One person told that in bank basically there are many data, but that basically is a very high performance data basically. High performance, it's high secure data basically. Why? Because your bank basically contains money, everything basically contains, so it has to be in very secure format basically. So many companies basically do banking projects basically, they keeps the data basically in many databases. Oracle is there, SQL Server basically is there, Microsoft SQL servers basically are there, MySQLs are there, NoSQLs basically are there. Nowadays basically the cloud computing database data also basically are basically came into the market. Cloud computing means basically you can say it's a set of database also basically. Oracle data also basically is in the hard disk only basically. And cloud computing basically are basically the in basically depth, we if we will go, it is also basically storing in some hard disk basically. It's a virtual basically. Cloud computing is a one of the virtual basically way. That basically is the thing. Amazon is the best example of the cloud basically, because they basically have many servers basically, but they don't give the physical access to the users basically. They basically give their user, they basically creates the user ID and password basically, and they have created some interfaces basically. In that interfaces basically people basically do that task. So that is also one of the data. Amazon basically is providing this type of data basically. So Oracle is also basically one of the database basically. That also. So many types of database format basically we have basically. So that basically is a little bit about the data basically. And data basically can be, if one person basically is creating the data basically, right? It has to be accessed basically. So in access basically there are many things basically which has created, like Excel is there, Notepad is there, but Notepad is there, then the applications basically are created. So from the applications basically you can able to create access the data basically. So basically this basically comes into the picture as application websites basically access the data, because when you open the rediff.com, google.com, and basically if you open the user creates the users, that time basically it stores your data basically in somewhere basically. So that is also basically the database. So data required front end applications also basically, so that basically you can able to easily able to view the data in readable format. So before Oracle basically database, and before database it's data format. So next video basically we are going to see little bit